Whoops.
Of what happened to me
Oh, yeah.
because I had told, I think all of you were on last time I was on, but as it turns out, my knee surgery got out of my control. It got rescheduled for, instead of being 2 days ago, it's going to be in 2 weeks. So,
Oh, ah,
Bummer.
so I'm fine in terms of, all that.
And that's why I'm late coming on. We were scheduling surgery stuff for my mother-in-law.
Yeah, bummer doesn't start to describe this, but I will not drag any of you through the dirty mud.
Okay. Okay.
I was
Yeah.
gonna ask how you were. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry you have a hassle, but boy, I understand that. Yeah.
¿Cómo está tu esposo?
Mi esposo está mucho mejor. Está tomando los medicamentos religiosamente. Sí. Y tenemos una cita con el primer doctor la semana que viene, pero es una cita por la tarde. Y
A cita is appointment?
Sí.
appointment, yeah. A cita can be a date, as in with a romantic partner. It can be an appointment also, which when you think about it, a date is a romantic appointment. So, hey, yeah.
Not the context I think of in the medical
No,
stuff.
no. No es lo mismo. Ok. Mi esposo va a tener muchas citas con 3 doctores, por lo menos, en el curso de un año entero. Pero así es, ¿no? Yeah, you got a big problem. It takes a while to sort this out. We'll try to get the try to get the mystery solved yeah. We'll try to get the mystery solved of why his lungs looked like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's bad. Okay. Vamos a empezar. Y gracias, Marcos. I hope everything goes well, and I hope they don't give you too much of a hassle getting rescheduled. So, okay.
Well, it's rescheduled. It's just, just got to wait 2 more weeks instead. So.
Yeah. Okay. I want to just open up and see if you had any questions on the 2 Frida videos that you had for the week. If there were any questions you had. Do you want me to do like a quick rundown of what it all sounded like, or like quick running translation, or was that not necessary?
No, but
No. Bien.
no. I love those videos.
Yeah. She does a very, very slow presentation, so it's easy to follow. And especially if you put on the subtitles, it's super, super easy to follow. So that part is quite good and quite easy. So what I thought we would open with, because it'll be kind of a nice lead in, I am going to do a very freewheeling kind of translation of the hot song, because it's full of what is she talking now? And it's interesting because the first time I listened to it, it's like, oh, she is really, it's like burn. But if you don't kind of know the slang, you don't know, because why would you?
I just listened to enjoy the music.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And you can just listen to enjoy the music. But I will give you a quickie. Plus, part of it goes into rap, and that goes to, I can't even spell a rap in English. I cannot. In English, I don't know what they're doing. So, yeah, that's kind of an issue. But, and there's some kind of history to it, but I'll do a rundown, and it is a snappy song. So I'll pause as we go through to tell you, probably I won't do a literal translation because the slang part of it will get in the way. I'll do a translation in terms of, if we were to say it in English, this is how we would probably phrase it. Okay. So that you'll see how cutting the diss really is. And it's cutting. Okay. Let me get all my.
No conozco las personas. So.
Okay. So let me give you a background first.
Yes.
Para que sepan,
Por
so you
favor.
know. Okay. Shakira es una cantante muy famosa. Ella es originalmente de Colombia. Ella es una cantante de Colombia. Shakira tiene como 43 años. Shakira
Wow.
tiene 43 años, ¿ok? Y aunque ella es colombiana, ella ya ha vivido en España por 12 años, 13 años, más o menos. Ok. Su pareja, her partner, and notice I did not say esposo, no se casaron, no se casó técnicamente, no se casó con su parejo. She did not marry her partner technically. They are not legally married. Sí, okay. El exnovio de Shakira se llama Gerard Piqué. And notice that last name, Piqué. Piqué es un nombre de origen francés, pero Gerard Piqué es español también, vive en Barcelona, y Shakira vivía en Barcelona con Gerard Piqué por 12 años. They had been a couple for 12 years. He was a famous footballer. So if you follow a lot of European football, you would know him the way we would know
Tom Brady.
A-Rod, Tom Brady. You would know him like that. I wouldn't say he's on the level of a Tom Brady in the world of soccer, but he's very well known. And he was on two teams. He played with the Barcelona club, which is a super popular club in Europe. He just recently retired from that team. I don't know if he's going to join another or not. He played in two European championships with the Barcelona team. He liked to do a lot of this for his two championships. This is important when you watch the choreography. His thing was to do this because he won two championships for his Barcelona team. They're called Barça. Shakira and Gerard Piqué were together for 12 years. They have two children, ages 9 and 7, I believe. They split recently. They split because he was found to have been canoodling with a young thing. Now, Shakira is 43. Gerard Piqué is 33. He is exactly 10 years younger than she. They share the same birthday. It came out in the press that he was canoodling. She's like, okay, that's it. She found out because someone had been eating the jam out of her jam in their fridge. And he does not eat jam ever. So she figured out somebody else. It was kind of the Goldilocks. Someone's been in my fridge.
Oh my goodness.
Plus, she showed up walking around in the background in one of his Zoom calls with his sports people, and she saw that too. She found out that, okay, here's the other thing. Gerard's mother lives next door to them. He bought, I guess, a condo or a townhouse in the townhouse next to them for his mom. So his mom still lives next door to their shared home, which is no longer a shared home, obviously. And yeah. And Shakira could possibly face jail time because the Spanish version of the IRS is coming after her for back taxes. They already got him for back taxes, but she was fighting the back taxes issue because I'm not a full-time resident. And they said, sorry, yes, you are. So we got all this big, ball of wax.
Una telenovela.
Una telenovela. Es una telenovela. I also subsequently saw an interview she had done. This is just for fun. With 60 Minutes and her partner when they were first together. And, you know, the interviewer said, why don't you just get married? And she said, well, I like to keep him on his toes. Well, yeah, that did not happen so much. Okay. But so now you got the sports guys who are siding with him and the music fans who are siding with her. And there's a lot of nasty junk going on. So all this stuff comes up, but keep in mind that his name is Piqué because that comes up in part of the song. So she decided after a hiatus, because she has done a little recording, but not a full album, because she had decided to, because he travels a lot with the soccer thing, to raise the kids in Barcelona with him and to not tour. She was not doing touring. So she took like probably 3 or 4 years off of her career where she would record once in a while, but she was not doing active tours so she could be with the kids. So she resents this, of course, tremendously. Well, okay, you know what? There's often blame on both sides with these famous people because they're not like the rest of us. So here's the song, and I'll do a little running commentary as we go. And let's put the guy who mixed this is well known, I guess, if you are into the young music. Excuse me, I caught another plane. I'm not coming back here. I don't want any more disappointments. Yeah, you know, you think you're a big champion. You think of yourself as a big champion kind of guy. But when I needed you, you gave me the worst part of yourself.
Sorry, baby,
I should have thrown that tomcat out a while ago. A she-wolf like me is not for rookies. Novatos are rookies, novices, low-class level players. Lola is she-wolf, also a reference to, she had an album with a song with, I think the title was Loba, where she characterizes herself as a she-wolf. Not to be confused with cougar of an older woman going after a younger man, does not have that connotation, just has a connotation of I'm an aggressive female. Okay. A she-wolf like me is not for guys like you. Pa is a shortening of para, which lots of people from all countries who speak Spanish do that. They shorten para to pa, kind of like we shorten going to gonna. It's kind of like that. Tipos is just slang for guy. Sometimes plain old guy, sometimes can be kind of derogatory, probably derogatory this time, but not generally. Tipo is not guy. It's what Latin Americans use to say a guy. For guys like you. Así te quedé, and that quedé should have a little accent mark. Así te quedé grande. I was too big for you. We use this idea to talk about clothes fitting too big, but we would probably say in English, I was out of your league. I was too big a name for the likes of you. You were out of your league being with me, and that's why you're with a little one who's just like you. Igualita, igual means equal, the same. Igualita makes it little. And so she is putting down the person he canoodled with, the girl, the other woman, as saying, she's just on the same level as you. You're Bush League, so is she. And Ita puts them down a level. That's why you're with somebody of minor importance, just like you are. This, meaning the song, is so you have to be embarrassed. You got to chew this over, swallow it, think about it. I'm not getting back together with you. Not even if you cry or beg me. I understood that I knew full well that it's not my fault that they're criticizing you for what you did. Oh, I'm just a musician. Excuse me if I splashed you. Salpique has his name buried in the word. Salpicar means to splash somebody. And like flick them up. Sorry if what I did, like, kind of, had a kickback for you that was not pleasant. You left me with a mother-in-law, although they're not technically married, but yeah, his mom. You left me with your mom as a neighbor, with press knocking on my door constantly because it's the paparazzi thing, and with a debt at Hacienda is the Spanish IRS, and a debt in the Treasury. Okay. I'm coming through this stronger. Women don't cry anymore. They bring in the cash. They bring in the revenue. They monetize. Yeah, we can get it done on our own, she says. Oh, she has a name. She has a name of a good person. Clara is, will we get that word? Yeah, Clara. Oh, Clara Chia is the name of the other woman. Clara Chia is her name. Everybody knows her name. Everybody, actually, she's getting harassed by the press now, too. The paparazzi follow her. She's not real happy about that. But she has the name of a good person. Clara is a name that's kind of all goodness and lightness because, claro means of course, or you're referring to, yes, that's true and truth and all that. So she has a name that means that she should be a good person. And here's her name buried in there, claramente. Clearly, she's not what it sounds. She's not what her name sounds like. Her name sounds like she's a goody two shoes, and she's not. It would be like somebody getting the name virtuous, for their name, and then they turn out to be a bad person. Yeah. clearly she's just as low level as you are. I was out of your league. Yeah. So here she kind of just starts riffing on the difficult time she has, how this experience has been hard on her. And I don't know what happened to you. I don't even recognize who you are anymore. Valgo means I am worth. I am worth two 22-year-olds. So this Chicky Poo, the Clara Chia, was 22 when the affair started. So I'm worth two 22-year-olds. Oh, yeah. Here's another slam. You exchanged a Ferrari for a Twingo. A Twingo is a cheap car. It would be like buying the lowest level Kia.
Yugo.
Yeah, like that. The old Ford Pinto from years ago, that little itty bitty car, the little putza car. You traded in, you exchanged a Ferrari for a cheap old car. You exchanged a Rolex for a Casio watch, which is like a low level cheapo watch. Yeah, you do a lot of workouts, but you don't really like work your brain out very much. I get photos taken of me everywhere I go. I feel like a hostage with the paparazzi. But I'm okay. Yeah, you wanna bring her in here to live? Yeah, fine. Just go ahead. Ya está. Yeah, that's it. She means that's a take. That's a wrap.
That's a pretty clever song for her to write.
It's a very clever. So there are people who are saying she's being far too nasty about this. Oh, you're being way too mean. And there are other people who are saying, give it to him. And interestingly, I mean, I'm not going to say she's probably the easiest person to live with. She probably isn't, she knows she's big stuff in the entertainment world. But interestingly, he was very upset about this song. His new girlfriend was very upset about the song, and she's pursued now. And everybody's taking her picture. And as a 22-year-old girl, I think she just turned 23. That's hard on a kid. That's a hard way to live, to have everybody in your face when you walk on the streets in public. There are people singing the song at the girl on the street. So she's very rankled, apparently, according to gossip by this. But interestingly, he got so angry about it that when he went to his next photo op thing, he does a lot of like a Spanish version of ESPN interviews. And of course, they asked him about it. And so his appearances that he made for this round of interviews, he bought a Casio watch and wore it to that. He bought the Twingo car, she mentions. And he drove up because he knew they would be there to take his picture. So they would see him getting out of a Twingo like, I don't care. But he was upset. So, yeah. but it's a catchy song.
It is a catchy song, and it's very clever, actually.
It is very clever song, very catchy song. It had 110 million downloads on day 2. And she has now surpassed the all-time record holder for Latin music on Spotify for downloads. It was Bad Bunny, but now it's hers. So everybody's like, God, download that song, download that song. They're having fun with that. Okay. Okay.
Now, I don't know. Do they get paid for each download on Spotify?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. Yeah. So, yeah. So
I
her,
really like this kind of musical interlude in the class today. You know, be okay with me to kind of bring in something. It doesn't have to be quite so, you know, have such deep meaning. But I was fun. That was fun to, you know, just to not exactly conversational lyrics, you know, that we're typically trying to, you know, get some handle on. So that was kind of fun.
yeah. You know, and this one had a lot of like double meaning things buried in it on purpose to be mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was the intent. The intent is to, you know, stick the knife in and turn it.
Mm.
And that indeed is the desire there. Yes. So, okay. I'll find some other songs for fun for you guys that are not necessarily mean.
I mean, mean's okay, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I was just like my YouTube is blowing up. Everybody was commenting on it, and now like everybody's got like they've got these in. A lot of YouTubers went out and did. Oh, for those of you who don't understand what the lyrics of the song mean, we're going to break down what they mean. So they went through all that. So okay, yeah, that's kind of fun. So. Let's I don't think we're going to do the small group thing since we got a fair number of people out today, but let's do check out some of these pictures I left you with that I sadly could not be in class with you last Wednesday because we were post op. So we'll pick up with that where we left off. Conversación del pasado. So you can mix these any way you want. Of course, we did last time some ideas on Forrest Gump. We did some ideas on Patton. And wow, aquí vamos, here we go. Uy, perdón. We have some idea. Wow, here's the opposite of Shakira. It never struck me at the time, but wow. Es todo lo opuesto de Shakira. Okay, a ver. Pam. Tenemos una foto de una película muy famosa. Y, ¿cómo se llamaba? ¿Cómo se llamaba la película? ¿Cómo se llamaba? ¿Se llamaba?
En inglés, The Sound of Music.
Sí, en inglés, The Sound of Music. En español, tiene otro título. El título en español, it booted me out of my keyboard. Ay, no tengo mi teclado aquí en español. Momentito, tengo que arreglar todo. El título de la peli, short for película, en inglés, en español, sometimes they change titles because they do. Es something like this. This might not be exact. La monja rebelde. The rebel nun.
Oh, my.
because as you know, when the movie opens, she is a novice. And for those of you unfamiliar with the Catholic traditions of nuns, who are religious ladies who live in a religious community and pray and do good works and sort of that sort of thing, monja is a nun. And people who are kind of understudies, who are hoping to become nuns, but they are in the process of going through that change, are called novices. So it's either la monja rebelde or la novicia rebelde. It's something to that effect, which doesn't have the punch of the Sound of Music, but hey, that's what they changed it to. Okay. Bueno. ¿Cuáles son unas ideas de esta película, de lo que pasó? Anything that happened. Doesn't have to be this photo exactly, but
La familia Trapp era era muy famosa.
sí, la familia Von Trapp era una familia muy famosa. Exacto, bien. Y era would definitely be more appropriate here than fue, because you're describing their background. Yeah, when we describe people and things in the past, era is generally more common. People and things are not events. Events in the past might tend to use fue, right? So if I talked about if I talked about an event like an invasion or a fight or the start of a war, it might use pretérito, but this is a family. It's a group of people. So sí, era. Okay, ¿qué más?
La familia Van Trapp abandonó de Austria porque de los nazis.
Ah, bien. La familia Trapp abandonó su casa, su hogar. Su hogar. Hogar es, here's a little high level vocabulary word for you. Hogar. Hogar is more than casa. Hogar is a home as opposed to a house. But we could definitely say house. La familia abandonó su casa por los Nazis, on account of the Nazis. O después, después de la llegada de los nazis. Bien, sí, excelente. Me gusta. Bueno, ¿qué más podemos
I
decir?
know I'm late, but I don't know what I'm not originally, I didn't grow up here, so I didn't know what kind of I have no idea what movies. I mean, like, when I was in Indonesia, I watched some, foreign movie, but not this one. I don't know what
Okay,
movie is
la
this.
película. Ok, bueno, gracias por la pregunta. Y para que sepas, so that you might know, para que sepas, la película La Monja Rebelde se trata de, is about. Se trata, y es una película del año 1964.
Wow.
Más o menos. Y es una música musical. Es una musical y todos los actores cantan en varias escenas de la película. Y se trata de una familia, un hombre, un viudo, a widower, un viudo en Austria, en los años en los años 30 en Austria. Y
Okay.
es un viudo con 7 hijos.
Wow, okay.
Y esta mujer, ¿sí? Él contrata a la mujer, he hires the woman, contrata a la mujer para ser niñera, to be a governess. Y se enamoran y se casan y entonces los nazis vienen y toman poder de Austria y quieren quitar el esposo de la familia para servir en el ejército de Hitler y él no quiere salir para pelear con Hitler y entonces la familia huye, the family flees, huye de Austria. Ok,
Okay.
ok, bien.
Gracias.
Hay otras cosas que podemos decir de esto.
Julie Andrews interpretó el parte de María en la película The Sound of Music y trabajó como niñera.
Exacto, sí. Julie Andrews interpretó. Es buena palabra, interpretó el papel de, ¿cómo se llamaba? María, el papel de María, sí, y trabajó, and this would be more like what she did in the movie, right? So, y trabajó de niñera,
So it's
niñera.
It's de niñera, not como. I don't know. Is it trabajo como or trabajo de niñera?
De niñera.
Okay.
Sí. De
Gracias.
niñera. Somebody would, yeah, I mean, como works to a certain extent. Yeah, people would totally understand that. De niñera con la familia on trap. Con 2 P's, creo que sí. Bien, sí. Interpretó. Another way we can say that interpretó, que es buen verbo, me gusta mucho, es que Julie Andrews hizo el papel. We can also say that a different way, played the role. And notice you put these in an interpretó, pretérito, correcto, o hizo el papel, played the role. I know hizo doesn't look like played because it's not jugar, but they use hacer el papel to say play the role. That's their translation of that. And interpretó is great. Es magnífico. Okay. ¿Qué más?
La familia cantaba muchas canciones hermosas durante los conciertos.
Sí, la familia cantaba mucho en toda la película, ¿no?
Sí.
La familia cantaba mucho y entonces cantaba, because this is something that was done over and over again in various parts of the movie, and we're not really counting up how many times, right? Sí. Ok, magnífico. ¿Qué más? ¿Algo más o no?
María y Captain Von Trapp huyeron del país con los niños porque se oponía a los nazis. Oponía.
Ok. María y el capitán, porque él sí era capitán, y el capitán,
Fled, like huyeron. Is that? I wrote it so long ago.
huyeron. We could say huyeron, they fled.
Yeah.
Like ran away. Or we could just keep it really simple. Fueron
Okay.
del país. Either one of those works okay. Huyeron es un verbo un poquito más específico. Huyeron is a little more specific because you have that connotation of not just they left, right? We could, fueron del país. We could even say salieron.
Ah,
Okay.
sí.
Salieron, they left. See, del país. But huyeron has that really specific connotation of they fled, meaning running away, right? Ran away.
Okay.
Got the heck out of Dodge, that kind of thing, because of some danger. Huyeron, sí, del país. Eso es, sí.
Después la familia daba conciertos en los Estados Unidos.
Después, sí, es verdad. Después la familia daba conciertos en los Estados Unidos, porque sí, con el paso de tiempo, la familia huyó primero a Suiza, Switzerland, y entonces la familia salió para Estados Unidos. Y sí, la familia daba conciertos en muchas ciudades de Estados Unidos. Sí, eso es. Ok. ¿Y algo más o no? No. Ok. Vale. Aquí tenemos otra película. Una película más reciente, something more recent. Aunque hace 20 años más o menos, ¿sí? Yeah, I think it's about 20 years old now, ¿sí? Ok. Si hablamos de Titánico, ¿sí? No es como la monja rebelde. This is not like the rebel nun. They just leave that as Titánico. No hay motivo, no hay razón para cambiar el título de esta película. Ok. ¿Qué podemos decir de esta película?
El barco Titanic se hundió durante su primer viaje.
Sí, hundió en su primer viaje. En su primer viaje transatlántico, perdón. El barco titánico hundió. Hundir es to sink. Ok. Hundió en su primer viaje transatlántico. O por el océano Atlántico. Ok. Excelente.
Titanic estaba navegando a Nueva York cuando chocó contra and I didn't find the word for iceberg.
Oh, sí, es parecido al inglés. Sí, un momentito, sí. Navegaba por Nueva York. The Titanic was sailing, zarpando, but navegando.
Navegado or navegado?
Navegaba was traveling, was navigating.
But is it do or navegado? Estaba navegado? No?
Oh, well, you could also phrase it as estaba navegando.
Navegando. Sí.
You can do either one. We can take navegar, which is to navigate,
Right.
which is used, frequently. And we can just turn that into imperfecto. Está bien. O podemos decir podemos usar estaba navegando, navegando. Los dos son correctos. Los
Okay.
dos son correctos. No hay mucha diferencia entre las dos palabras. Tengo que buscar porque sí, I've heard them use. Sí, es exactamente como iceberg, but yeah, iceberg. I've heard people actually use that term. See, okay. Estaba navegando o navegaba por Nueva York cuando
Choco.
chocó.
Oh.
When it did this. Chocar es to crash. Y obviamente aquí es un evento. So we've got was sailing, chocó, evento. Here we have a clear interrupting action. You cannot get more interrupting than that. Cuando chocó con un iceberg.
It is iceberg.
Sí, es iceberg. Eso es, sí. En el Atlántico. Ok, magnífico. Podemos decir un poquito más, ¿sí? La película se trata de, y aquí es presente, se trata, se trataba, was about, se trataba del desastre del barco y también del amor de los dos jóvenes, ¿sí? En la historia. ¿Sí? Se trataba, it was about, del desastre y también del amor de los dos.
Sí.
Bien. ¿Podemos describir a los dos actores principales o sus personajes? Podemos describir los personajes. Personajes son characters. No se usa la palabra carácter para character. Carácter sí es palabra española, carácter, pero se usa de otra manera. Por ejemplo, podría decir, I could say, el jefe, el nuevo jefe de mi hija es un hombre de buen carácter. My daughter's new boss is a man of good character. Podemos usar carácter así. Es un hombre de buen carácter. He's a man of good character, meaning his bearing, his way of acting. Pero si quiero decir, si quiero decir character in a book, no se usa carácter, se usa personaje. ¿Ok? ¿Qué podemos decir de los personajes en la película? Son Jack y Rose. Sí.
La mujer era muy rica y, y el hombre era muy peor.
Sí. Y el joven era pobre. Sí. Ella era muy rica y el joven era pobre. Podemos decir los dos, the two of them, los dos eran personajes de clases distintas en la sociedad. Ella era de la clase alta, ¿sí? Y el personaje de Jack era un personaje de la clase baja. Ok. Bueno, hay otras ideas.
El hombre murió cuando hundió el barco.
El hombre se murió. And usually this is used, you can just use murió, but it is very, very popular to combine it with a se
Say,
in general. And I cannot give you a reason why. How is died reflexive? I don't know, say.
you die
Come on.
yourself?
Yeah, you die yourself. No, you don't do that. It does not mean you off yourself, though. I can tell you that. Morirse does not mean like suicide thing, like do it to yourself. Suicide verb is, in fact, reflexive, but se suicidió, but that's not that. But se murió cuando cuando hundió el barco. Se murió cuando hundió el barco. And notice, we often flip the order. We would say when the boat sank. After that word cuando, it's kind of the usual pattern for people to flip the order and put the verb first and then the noun. When sank the boat. That's generally the way they do it. Again, there's not a reason I can give you, but it's just after that word cuando. That's a general word order thing. Okay. Muy buena. Y los dos pretéritos. Se murió, hundió. They're both events. They're both one and done. Okay.
Los personajes se enamoraron
Bien.
en el barco, el
Se
Titanic.
enamoraron durante el viaje. En el barco, ¿sí? Se enamoraron en el viaje. Rose, la personaje de Rose ya tenía novio. She already had. Aquí novio es más como fiancé. Ya tenía novio, pero iba a casarse con él. She already had a boyfriend, but she was gonna get married to him. Por su dinero. On account of his
Money.
Por su dinero, por su posición en la sociedad.
Pero no se casó.
No se casó. Ella no se casó con él. No se casó. Entonces, ella no lo amaba. She didn't.
No.
No lo amaba.
Did not love him.
Sí. Y al final no se casaron. And in the end, they did not get married. Eso es. El pobre Jack sí se murió. Ella no se murió.
No. ¿Cómo se dice she ran away or she?
Sí, ella huyó de su familia. Huyó de su novio, huyó de su familia, sí. Y empezó su vida otra vez
Yeah,
como mujer sola, ¿sí?
sí.
She started her life again as a single woman and, of course, had a separate life. Ok, vale, magnífico. Debemos pasar a otra idea. ¿Sí? ¿Bien o más?
No, it's good.
El tema cantando por Celine Dion en
Ah,
británico se hizo muy popular.
sí, sí, era una canción muy popular conectada con la película. Celine Dion, sí, cantó el tema, la canción del tema, sí, de la película. Y sí, se hizo una canción muy, muy, muy muy famosa, muy popular, una canción bien conocida. Eso es, sí. Ok, vale. Bueno, aquí tenemos una foto
Sí.
de otra película que es todo lo contrario de la familia Von Trapp, que es es todo lo contrario, just the opposite, todo lo contrario de Titanic, bien, y, la película was called El Padrino.
Yes, El Padrino.
El Padrino. Padrino, sí, quiere decir Godfather, sí. Exactamente, Godfather, Padrino, sí. Y en el sentido, y cuando hablan del sentido de la mafia, sí, se usa también la palabra el padrino. Pero en el mundo de los hispanohablantes, el término padrino es un miembro muy importante de la familia. Sí, el padrino sí sería godfather, sí, de los hijos de los padres. So padrino is used literally for a godfather as, in a religious sense, a person who will help in the raising and rearing of the child as someone who looks over the child's development throughout their life. Ok, pero aquí el padrino se refiere a la posición del criminal, ¿sí? En la mafia. Ok. ¿Qué podemos decir de esta película o de la foto o lo que sea?
Marlon Brando era un actor muy famoso.
Marlon Brando era un actor, sí, sumamente famoso. Cuando hizo la película.
¿Por
Sí, sí.
sumamente?
Sumamente. Tremendously.
Oh,
Yeah, sumo is like a summit. Sumamente famoso. He was hugely famous. Tremendously famous. Sí. Oh, y podemos decir, here's another thing that we could say. Ya era. He was already at that time. He was already hugely famous when he made that film. Okay. Bien.
En la película, and I don't remember the name, so I'll say, un personaje se despertó con cabeza de caballo en su cama.
Sí, un personaje de la peli que era jefe de un estudio de Hollywood. Sí, se despertó con la cabeza de caballo en la cama. Sí, a character in the movie who was the head of a movie studio woke up with a horse's head. Sí, en la cama. Como con venganza. No como venganza. That would be revenge. Como advertencia, as a warning.
Sí.
¿Verdad? Sí, bien. Sí, eso es. Para intimidar. Para intimidar al jefe del estudio en Hollywood, sí, de un estudio, perdón, sí, estudio. Para intimidar al jefe del estudio de Hollywood, sí, bueno, metió en la cabeza de un caballo en la cama del jefe. ¡Y qué
Is that
terrible!
true? Is that a true thing or is that part of the movie?
Oh,
Part of the
sí,
movie.
Part of the movie.
en la película,
Oh, okay.
sí, en la película, sí, en la
En la
película,
película,
sí.
okay.
Es un evento clave, es un evento clave, es un evento clave, es un evento clave. It's a key event.
Sí.
Mm.
Es un evento clave en la película. Sí. Es una demostración del poder del padrino
Sí.
que puede amenazar, that he can threaten, que puede amenazar. El padrino amenazaba a mucha gente. The Godfather threatened many people. Okay. Amenazar looks like menace. Suena como menace y es así. Amenazar es to threaten. Entonces amenazaba a mucha gente. Una vez y otra vez y otra vez y muchas veces a mucha gente, ¿sí? Entonces, no es pretérito. Amenazaba, he threatened, amenazaba muchas veces. Y no podemos contar el número el número de veces que amenazaba a varias personas. Ok, excelente.
Los hombres siempre pasaban el anillo de la padrino.
Sí. ¿Y quién es esta persona besando el anillo? El hombre sí besó el anillo del padrino. Para mostrar que era fiel. To show that he was faithful, right?
Sí, sí, sí.
Para mostrar que era fiel, que era dedicado al servicio, para mostrar que podía obedecer, que iba that he was going to, iba a obedecer al padrino. When we want to say, this is a good little tidbit for you to know. When we want to say somebody was going to do something. Oh, I was going to drive out there, but darn, my car wouldn't start. I was going to clean the kitchen, but I ran out of time. Oh, we were going to go to the park that day. Instead of taking voy a ir al parque, I'm going to go to the park, we always change that voy a if we say it in the past, it will never be pretérito. To say I was going to, it always becomes iba a. Íbamos a, we were going to. Iba a, I was going to. Iban a, they were going to. And then the infinitive. So voy a manejar al supermercado. I'm going to drive to the supermarket. If we want to change that to the past idea, we just take voy, I am going to, and make it into imperfecto. That particular chunk always stays imperfecto. Iba a obedecer al padrino. He was going to obey the godfather. Okay. But you can pick that chunk up, iba a, and anytime you're going to use ir a in present to make it past, you just make it imperfecto. Okay. ¿Hay algo más o no?
Cuando una persona quiso un favor, fue al padrino.
Una persona
Hizo?
made or did?
Quiso. Wanted. Quiso?
Or you want to say wanted?
Wanted.
Quería.
O quería.
Quería.
Un favor.
Y, perdón, no oí muy bien. Couldn't hear very well.
A favor. A favor.
Quería
Un
hacer un favor.
to make
Okay. He wanted the godfather to do a favor?
Yes.
Let's look at how that sounds. Okay. That's going to go into something kind of complicated. So we're going to give it a different block. And I would not expect you to know how to do this, but it's not bad for you to just hear what it sounds like. It's something you've never formed before, but that's okay. Let's say we're saying this guy is coming up to kiss the ring because let's put it in present first and then in the past.
Okay.
He wants the godfather to do him a favor.
Sí.
Okay. We're going to keep it in present for now. El hombre
Yeah.
que besa el anillo del padrino, the man who's kissing the ring, quiere que el padrino, and let's just take this out because it's a little repetitive, que besa el anillo, quiere que el padrino le haga un favor.
Oh.
Esto sí es importante. And I'm going to show you how it sounds in presente, but how it turns out if we translate it into a past idea. That's going to be the harder structure. So here's how it is. El hombre que besa el anillo quiere que el padrino le haga un favor. He wants that the godfather should do him a favor. Okay. Whenever one person, this guy here, wants a different person to do something, that means he's imposing this idea of I want.
Oh, that's that subjunctive.
This is a subjunctive.
Oh.
He wants him to do him a favor, but this favor has not yet happened. So this whole thing of saying do a favor is not yet happening in the real world. The fact that he wants it is a real feeling. He wants it. It's a desire he truly has in the real world. But the doing the favor part, it has not happened. And we don't know if that will be granted or not. So because that action of doing a favor is not part of what is really going on yet, we have to put it into something they call subjunctive. And English does many things instead of this. You may have heard some people sometimes say, I want that you should do me a favor. It's closer to that idea. He wants that this person might do him a favor, gets a little closer to that idea of subjunctive. But we don't have strictly, we say generally, he wants him to do a favor. We don't conjugate it at all in some cases, but it has to become this, haga un favor, subjunctive. So if I made that into past idea, it would wind up looking like or sounding like this. Quería, he wanted, que el padrino le hiciera un favor. And that is a lot harder to do. Quería would go into imperfecto. That part's not so tough. But the past subjunctive is a very, very, wow. Hiciera sure does not look like hacer, does it? Not much. Because that word hiciera is based on this form. Oops. Hicieron. They take that preterite form of hacer, the preterite form, and they take that as the basis to form this word hiciera. And they say, well, you know what? We're going to take the hieron off, and we're going to make it hiera. We're going to make it into this to make it past subjunctive. And why it got that convoluted, I don't know. But as you can see, it's kind of a past subjunctive can be a difficult thing to know how to form. But all of the past subjunctive are based on the ellos, ellas, ustedes form of the pretérito verb. So it requires some mental gymnastics for sure to know how to do that. Yeah. So I'm putting that off on the side because that's not as easy as all the rest of this. Just saying, oh, he kissed the ring. Oh, besó. That's a B-S. Ha. Besó. Perdón. That's not as easy as besó or era fiel. He was faithful. Iba a obedecer. Amenazaba. All that is more vanilla flavor kind of past action. And this kind of goes beyond vanilla flavor. It gets into hard stuff. Okay. ¿Qué más? What else might we say about that movie? Anything else or no?
La película El Padrino se centró en que el hijo más joven que se convirtiera
Sí.
en un jefe de la mafia.
El hijo menor, the youngest, el hijo menor del padrino se convirtió en el nuevo padrino, ¿no?
Sí.
En el nuevo padrino, en el siguiente, into the next.
Oh.
El siguiente padrino. Sí, se convirtió. He became. And that is a se convirtió, probably the best verb for that. There are, just to make, we won't go in it today, there are about this many ways, maybe even this many ways to say became. Became is a kind of a nightmarish concept in Spanish because people will use various verbs that are totally different to express the idea of became. And just para que sepan, so that you know. So, in this movie, Michael takes a lot of little steps, doesn't he? Paso a paso, step by step. He, throughout the movie, gets closer and closer and closer to taking over that role of his father, right? And that idea means that this was a process that was very long, but it was natural. It wasn't like he went to a university. How do I become a mafia guy? Yeah. It was a process that happened very naturally and very slowly, but a complete change. And to say became and convey that idea of a slow but very natural process, it is convertirse, which sounds like convert.
Yeah.
And, if you convert a car into a lowrider car that's going to jump up and down on its axles or something like that, it's a slow process that you do little by little, poco a poco, right? And so we'll do that sometime to give you a feel for what some different ways we say became, and because sometimes that'll be a natural thing, but we're not going to get into a lot of rules with it, but some natural chunks of words. That's a good thing for us to do at some point. Es buena cosa. Okay. Otra idea. Is there any other idea you have about El Padrino or no? I want to take a quick one, and see if we can riff. I did not want to give you loads and loads of movies where you would be working off the top of your head, but I thought it might be nice to end up with one idea where you got to work off the top of your head and see how you can do, because you guys have been doing phenomenally well with that. Okay. Y voy a escoger perdón. Voy a escoger una película muy famosa. Y la película muy famosa se llamaba, it was called, o quizás no es tan famosa.
It's the dinosaur one. I forget
The
the name.
dinosaur one.
Raiders of the Lost Ark? No. Is it
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. See.
La peli, and a lot of people use, especially young people, use peli as a short word for película. La peli se llamaba Jurassic Park. And I would be willing to bet they didn't translate that much. They may have just left it as Jurassic Park. No sé. Parque. No sé. Okay. Se llamaba Jurassic Park. Okay. ¿Y qué podemos decir? What can we say about this movie to kind of tie up our stuff for this week? We can talk about what it was about. Let's take tratarse de and turn it into it was about. It was about. And that's not going to be an event. It's going to be in land of imperfecto, right? So we're going to say it was about. We don't need the word it. Se
trataba.
Se trataba. And then we need this little word de, because it just likes to have that little word de. Se trataba de. It was about
Una isla.
Una isla.
Donde
where there were. Let's take I and make it past.
Oh,
I has to go into either hubo or había.
Oh, había.
había.
Donde había,
Yeah.
donde había, where there, it was about an island where there were
Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
dinosaurios. Boom.
Dinosaurios.
Donde había dinosaurios
In un parque.
en un parque. En un parque de atracciones. Un parque turístico. Sí, Marcos, excelente, me gusta. En un parque de atracciones, en un parque. Sí, es buen término. En un parque turístico. Excelente, excelente. En un parque de atracciones, en un parque turístico. Magnífico. Ok. Como por ejemplo, how would we say if we looked at this photo? They were looking at dinosaurs.
Ellos,
They were looking at.
mirando.
We're going to take mirar.
Yeah, ellos mirando.
Miraban.
Mirando.
Miraban.
Miraba.
Miraban dinosaurios.
Oh.
Miraban dinosaurios. Or we could say, if we meant to convey the idea, this could show you how this will change a little bit. I could say, wow, they were looking at dinosaurs, which is a valid idea. Or I could say, if I want to emphasize more the idea of they saw dinosaurs for the first time ever, then I would change it to ver. And then if I want to convey, if I want to shift the emphasis, instead of, they were staring, which is clearly better with imperfecto miraban, if I change it to they saw them for the very first time, and I'm changing the stress to here's something that happened, it becomes ver and vieron por primera vez. Los dinosaurios. Los dinosaurios creados en el laboratorio. ¿Verdad? Sí. Vieron por primera vez los dinosaurios creados en el laboratorio. Dinosaurs created in
A laboratory.
a laboratory. And this word creados is what we call a past participle. And it's part of a whole chunk that says the dinosaurs didn't do any creating, well, except for making new dinosaurs, baby dinosaurs, which they weren't supposed to do. That's part of the plot. But yeah, see? But rather that the dinosaurs, creados en el laboratorio, takes that verb crear, to create, and it says, oh, they were created. Yeah. It just tells that they weren't born because they had always lived there. They were actually manufactured, right? They were created in the laboratory. So it describes their state. Okay. Bien. Bien.
Los dinosaurios escaparon el parque.
Los dinosaurios
Miraron.
escaparon. Se escaparon.
Oh, they escaped themselves.
Sí. Ya, sí. Escaparse es reflexivo. This is one of those verbs that just is reflexive. They didn't escape themselves. But yeah, it's not like sentarse or peinarse el pelo or anything. Yeah, but it's just a verb that just is used reflexively. You just have to accept that. Se escaparon del parque. Right, and we needed de because now I'm saying they left from this area, right? Del parque. Eso es. Perfecto. Okay. Los dinosaurios.
So you can use the say huyeron too, or no? Instead of escaparon, since it's also
Huyeron. Yeah, we could use that they fled from the park. We could. Sí, es posible. Huyeron del parque is another verb we can use. So
but
these
you
are
also use say on the huyeron.
Posible, maybe. That's one of those verbs that might be used either way, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, sí. Se huyeron o huyeron del parque. Los dinosaurios también mataron a mucha gente. They, or this way, is how they did it. Sí, mataron a mucha gente. They killed a lot of people. Okay, bien. But all those would be evento, sí, pretérito. Se escaparon, evento, pretérito. Vieron, they saw. If I want to emphasize first time, right? If I want to give the impact, convey the impact of a first event, but I might just say they were standing around just staring at them. And then miraban imperfecto might be more appropriate. It shifts the emphasis more to what they were doing for a long time because they had to pick up their jaws that fell to the floor. Okay, so which verb we choose is going to convey a different kind of feeling about that action. Eso es, magnífico. Okay, do you want me to find more pictures for you to prep and talk about, or do you not care if you have prep time?
I like having the prep time because
Okay.
there's so often there's, you know, either a key verb or some other word that just got to look it up. I mean,
And you got to look it up. Sometimes you need that vocabulary because you might not know it offhand. Okay. Magnífico.
Media y media.
Media y media. Sí. Okay.
Media y media.
Sí. La mitad serán, sí, fotos para preparar. Y la otra mitad, the other half, la otra mitad, van a ser fotos para hablar de manera espontánea, sí, spontaneous. Okay, vale, magnífico, excelente, excelente. And I may throw in maybe a little bitty lesson on become, but a bitty lesson, because if you throw it wide open, it starts to become a big, intimidating mess. So I'm going to pick a little chunk of how to say became that would be a super common thing you might hear people say in regular conversation. Yeah. Something that will be super frequent. Okay? Bien?
Sí, bien. Sí.
Fantástico. Ok, y son las 11:30. Ya son las 11:30. Entonces nos vemos el lunes. El lunes. ¿Verdad? Bien, bien. Excelente.
Gracias.
Bueno,
Gracias.